Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Today we are here with Dr. Amitabh Nondi. He is a very experienced virologist. He worked over 30 years for the Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine. He was also a consultant with World Health Organization and ICMR. Dr. Nondi, welcome to the print. In Bengal, it's been 40 days. We are seeing an outbreak of coronavirus. It's of course a global pandemic, but since we are here in Bengal, what according to you the situation looks like now after 40 days into the lockdown?
Well, the situation in terms of the number of cases, the mortality rate, etc., they are gradually getting worse. And the situation is not absolutely clear. The real picture is yet to be understood simply due to the lack of input, epidemiological input in terms of surveillance, in regard to the diagnostics, in regard to monitoring of individual communities and areas. So we are yet to understand the real magnitude of the problem, whatever way it is till now, and that is the biggest danger and biggest, rather I should say, drawback to think about the future, to calculate, to make some projections or predictions what is going to happen. If you ask me, it's really not possible. Moreover, there have been shortage of diagnostic facilities, which is the most important area which is causing the entire control program a very, I should say, a kind of it's drawing back in regard to the understanding of the epidemic and to develop a real effective control strategy. And in this regard, ideally what I would like to say that, you see, in any kind of epidemic, including COVID pandemic, to make this strategy, we need certain things, certain very basic fundamental issues to be discussed, to be accepted by all people concerned, and then formulate a strategy. And they begin with formulating or defining few areas. For example, what is the definition of the case? What would be the definition of infection? What would be the definition of asymptomatic carriers? How do you define death? What are the criteria that should be included in defining one geographical area into different categories? So these are few examples how we should create certain definitions, and once the definitions are created, then we go for the action. And in terms of action, the most important action should be the detection of cases. Now, by definition, cases should be actively suffering cases, but here we have to consider that there would be many more individuals. As we know by now, everyone knows that in many many diseases, particularly like other viral diseases including dengue, majority of the infected persons, they do not manifest as a case or as a diseased person, but they have the potential to transmit the infection to others. They are known as the asymptomatic carriers. So before formulating any strategy, before undertaking any kind of control measure, we have to define geographically, in terms of qualitative and quantitative aspect of the infection, how much it has spread, how much it has gone deep into the community. So thereby we can assess the magnitude of the problem, and we can definitely formulate our strategy, what kinds of intervention measures we are going to take. Now these are the areas which is not really being done under the present activities.
Sir, how do you rate West Bengal government's handling of COVID crisis? Let's say on 10. How much number you'll give? As an expert.
No, this is not the right time, or this is not the right time you are allowing me to give a score, but I can define, I can discuss what are the areas which needs improvement. The first and foremost is the diagnostic facilities. Still now, we don't have diagnostic facilities at a level which really we need. People are moving here and there for getting diagnosed, test for COVID. There is no definite instruction. There is people really do not know what to do. If anyone come up with symptoms which largely overlap with many such diseases, like say for example even dengue. The initial symptom of dengue starts with a kind of a fever, sore throat, malaise, body ache, headache, all these things, and cough. And these are the symptom complex which are also present in seasonal flu and many other bacterial diseases. So one has to know who is really a COVID patient. And under this situation, what is happening, that people in the community, they feel shy, they feel confused where to go. Even the doctors, the practicing doctors, they do not know where to send these people, because we know that not all such individuals are suffering from COVID.
Sir, our Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, she has been saying that nobody knew that we are going to face this kind of a pandemic. We are in the middle of a pandemic. We did not know how to handle this situation. So we are trying to develop a system, and it takes time. And 40 days into the lockdown, we know that it took some time for our Chief Minister to start working with the center, because initially Bengal state government, at least it was managing things on its own. Now again they are trying to coordinate with the center. There had been several sorts of counter allegation, that we do not have test kits. Center said that no, we had sent you test kits. Then the government again hit back saying the test kits were faulty. So while all these kind of allegations and counter allegations were being shot at each other, we saw the Bengal has become a state that was really lagging in number of per million testing, and also it is having I guess the highest mortality rate, which is 12% now. I guess 12.5% now. So how do you see this state center conflict, and with some pinch of politics, in the middle of a pandemic? I don't think it helped.
You see, one thing must I don't like to clarify this. Everybody now knows that COVID as a disease, it doesn't know the political boundaries, the religious boundaries, or the country boundaries. Nothing. It's the human being. There is nothing in between. There cannot be anything in between the virus and the human being. So we have to fight as a whole, as a human race. We have to fight the virus. Now it's true that it's an unknown disease, no doubt in that. But it's also wrong to consider the disease as totally unknown. It's not unknown in that sense, because that virus belongs to a virus family known as coronaviruses. There are other family members. Within these families, there are other coronaviruses apart from COVID-19. We have SARS, we have MERS, we have other non-COVID coronaviruses, which are already prevalent in throughout the world. Now the question is not that we should not be ready, we are not ready. That cannot be a plea which is considered not getting ready to handle the situation. You see, whenever this kind of epidemic rather a pandemic occurs, we have to consider other similar diseases, and the standard epidemiology and disease control protocol has to be considered and applied in any kind of similar disease process. And side by side, parallelly, we have to institute or instill a flavor of studies and research. So that means whatever known tools, whatever known methodologies you have, you apply similar to other similar diseases where we apply this kind of activities, and side by side you keep on studying the nature of the disease, what is its magnitude and etc., so that you generate very important and valuable data, and these data will help you to formulate, not only formulate, but also time to time modify effectively the control strategy. There has been blames that the ICMR is every alternate day changing its strategy. I don't find anything wrong in that. That has to be the strategy, because they are studying the entire situation. So it's a new disease, we don't know anything. So we expect that every day new information comes to us, and we have to cope up with the situation based on the available information and study results. So there ought to be changes, if not alternate day, if not daily, even every moment we have to change for a greater benefit to the entire nation and entire world. The lockdown can never be considered as a method of disease control. It has two goals. Number one is that you create a kind of a distance between one person to the other, because we know that by now that COVID-19 transmits through droplet infection. But the other goal was to buy some time to make ourselves prepared. So I feel that this is significant time we have already spent, more than 40 plus days. By this time we should have been ready with all our knowledges, all our strategies, all our tools to control the situation. Not that we didn't know anything, we didn't know things about the COVID. We knew sufficient information, we knew at least the very basic fundamental character of the disease and the virus we knew. So what should have been done strategically? Strategically, the first important activities should have been, most emphasis should have been given to case finding. That means creating diagnostic facilities, institutional as well as the community level. That was the first thing. Second is creating appropriate treatment strategy. Third is the public awareness. We simply did not build up any kind of public awareness. People still today, people do not know what to do, where to go, how to do if something happens. So these are that is known as IEC. That means information, education and communication. You inform whatever you know about the disease, all scientific. There is no place for any political issues, any other issues, any religious issues, no place. Only science and science and science. If anything between the virus and the sufferer, that is the humankind, comes, that is the science.
So sir, do you really think that this state center conflict pushed Bengal a bit back, in its fight against coronavirus, this crisis?
I see this issue as a kind of a uselessly spending time.
Right.
Uselessly spending time without doing a positive thing. You see, there has to be, as a country, Bengal or Odisha or Tamil Nadu, whatever it is, whatever state is, it's a part of the country known as India. So whatever strategy is to be followed by any of these states has to be on the national basis. and that has to be a uniform control strategy.
It looks like the state governments are heavily dependent on the center in terms of supply of kits. So is it so, or the state government, I guess the state governments are now procuring on its own?
You see, as I am not a part of the government, I cannot give you any detailed figures or the strategic issues what the government is doing. But this much I can tell you, the test kits, they are now getting manufactured in India. It takes time to reach that state of a complete full supply to meet up the entire requirement of individual states or individual units. It takes time. So this is true. So one cannot blame someone that is not supplying. If the country is not having adequate kits, which is true, and that is right, because we didn't have any kind of tools to fight COVID in terms of diagnostic kits. So we have to create that. We have to create facilities, and any kind of production that takes time to reach the optimum level. So we have to wait. We must wait.
So you're trying to say that the blame game could have been minimized and more focus might have been given on the treatment or the diagnostic.
This scientific aspect, one has to, I told you that between the COVID and the human being, there is only one thing, is the science. So you have to look into the problem through the, through the binocular or through the spectacle of science. Without that spectacle, you can't see anything.
And there shouldn't be any politics.
There should not anything else than science. Instead of telling that you don't get panicked, don't create panic, what I say that you have to make the people to understand why there would be no panic. There should be reason to say to the people that there is nothing to be panicked.
Sir, now shifting back to the virus. So can we have little bit of hope on the summer, or do you think that the virus can develop another strain, a new strain, or there are also possibilities of this virus coming back in the winter?
You see, this is too premature to say about the nature and what kind of mutational changes the virus is going to have, because by now we know that there are at least recent study they came out with possibilities of 11 individual strains of the viruses. But how far this kind of strain variation, how far this kind of mutational changes would affect the different aspects of the disease, including the spreading capacity, including the nature of the clinical manifestations, including the severity of the illness, including the way the immune system would be handling the disease, how the immune response, would it be short-lived or would it be long-lived, we do not have any idea. It will take some time. It will take months and years to clearly understand about the individual strains' effect on all these aspects of epidemiology, disease manifestation, clinical signs, symptom, and rate of mortality or severity or complication. Unless we know that, because we have to pinpoint, we have to track all these features into the genome of the virus. Where is the difference? If there are different strains, we have to understand and identify the differences in the genomic structure of the configuration of the virus, and in which way that genomic difference would be helping the community either to handle the virus in right way or not. That takes time. I can't tell you right now that how we are going to face problems with genomic changes, but by now, at least we have seen that the virus, in contrast to the earlier belief, that it is mutating quite fast. It is mutating quite fast, unlike other viruses.
Sir, with the lockdown being eased out a bit now, we are also seeing the number of confirmed cases rising nationally, also in the state. So, once the lockdown is lifted, how do you read or see the situation post lockdown?
Again, that brings me to the same issue of formulation of the strategy, implementation of the strategy in right perspective, and with the buying of time through lockdown, whether we have made ourselves ready to really fight the situation. For example, with the non-availability of the diagnostic kits or gradual increase in the production rate of the diagnostic kits, we have picked up the diagnostic rate of diagnosis, and that might be one reason why the number of positive cases gradually are building up day by day. That might be one reason. But on the other hand, we cannot ignore the unknown transmission of the disease in the community level, because it is quite a long time that we have stopped the international importation of the viruses through blocking the international travel. So we are not in a position to say that, well, this virus is getting imported. No. Whatever cases are getting diagnosed in India now, they are all local cases. That means we are in the intra-country transmission mode. You should have a COVID geographical mapping, and there you can give different color codes into the grades of infection, into the grades of the disease, and then you can classify. By this, through this lockdown period, we should have completed this process, so that then it would be easier to lift the lockdown process in whichever way, whether it is a phased way or suddenly lifting the lockdown. It depends upon the correct knowledge of geographical mapping of the COVID situation.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having us here. This is Madhuparna. Thank you, sir. This is Madhuparna for The Print in Kolkata.